the money in the account is irrelevant unless you're pumping the economy. You're pumping shit into people's hands, right? Hey, Quantum?
I'm just checking in on you after the festival of stress.
I feel like I got brain damage.
I could tell.
Yeah.
2.5 hours I was there listening as well, so I did by proxy.
Yeah.
If I told you what they were saying during my interview.
They spent more time in that meeting than they have for the last 3 months, and that's the concerning bit, right? The worst of it is I brought up the fine issue, and it was just like, oh, we can talk about each one at a time. And I'm like, huh? Bruh, like, a lot of the shit is just cooked. You know what I mean?
I mean, between you and I, of course.
Yeah.
So they wrapped up things with you, whatever.
Yeah.
Go do this interview with me. I don't know if they use it as an excuse or not for the Marshall interview for the director.
Yeah.
It went well. I don't think I'm getting the position, but it was just something to do, right?
Oh.
I don't think they're gonna be picking Pratt or anyone, but it's definitely not gonna be me. Anyways.
Yeah.
They were very vocal about how upset they were with the meeting, the governor, with you. And they
really? What were they mad about? That they got called out? I don't understand.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of them getting called out, and then a matter of you needing them to go through these records and do their job. And oh God, he doesn't want whatever. Yeah. So Weiss is, he's Weiss.
That's crazy.
Yeah, very crazy. It was kind of hard to sit there and listen to stuff.
What the fuck? That. Wait, what the fuck am I looking at?
After I witnessed the meeting, somewhat. No.
Because you had the context and they probably didn't know.
I did. Because obviously I was with Michael and in the pews, just kind of like sitting back.
Oh my God.
They called me back in for the interview.
Yeah.
Because all of them were around. God knows that would never happen. So I'm the only one. I'm gonna be honest. I'm the only one getting interviewed for that fucking position. They're not gonna convene again, I don't think, for a long time. But I guess a good excuse for them to pull away from you giving them hard facts that they didn't want to hear.
It was like genuinely, you know what it seemed like? Have you ever seen Office Space?
Of course.
And there's the guy with the red stapler, and they bring him into the room, and they're like, can you explain what you do exactly? And that's the answers like I felt I was getting. Because
the job.
It couldn't, they couldn't comprehend that I don't believe bullshit. I was like, they're like, we worked on this so hard for 3 weeks. I'm like, oh, okay. Do you have a document? You have this product, but surely if you spent 3 weeks on this, then you must have something that indicates why you made any of these decisions.
Oh, yeah.
And it just kept returning to just circular arguments of, well, we talked to so many different people, and maybe it's I don't even think the problem with them is they have been trained to be dogs.
Of course.
And what I mean by that is they know that they get food, and that's it. They don't know where the food came from. They don't know who did this, who did that. They got documents that they don't know who signed what. And is it that difficult to be like, hey, I even said I don't have a copy. I don't know why these decisions were made. Princess doesn't know why these decisions are made. And it was you'd get responses well, Princess wasn't the mayor at that time. And it's that's why you fucking documented, you bozo.
I know. I gotta tell you this.
Christ.
I gotta tell you this. My interview, they recorded it for McNee, just so he can listen in later and give his opinion. They already made up their mind. They are, you know what it is? Murray's always around, so he just tells them everything that goes on, and then that's what they make decisions on, obviously. Because they're not here. They're not around the city. I'm going to tell you this in confidence.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he meant it or not. It's probably just his initial anger because I'd hope he didn't.
Yeah.
God, don't let this
Ooh, what? Where?
Weiss. When he was relieving his anger after your lighthearted conversation with him after the meeting.
Oh, I'm ready. Give it to me.
He said that you were having him go through these hundreds of documents to record something. I don't know. I don't know the full context. You know, because you asked him to do it, right?
Yeah.
You asked him for records of something?
Yeah, exactly. I asked him.
He said, I don't know what it's about. I don't need to know. But he's like, God. Yeah. I have to go through all this? I'm not going to do it. He just straight up said, I'm not going to do this for you. He's like, I'm not going to do this.
The guy's a clown. Like, you know, it's at the end of the day, right? Nothing changes under the fact that they do not want to do their job.
No.
They want the power.
He said out loud he did not want to. He's not going to do it. He's too much work.
Of course. Of course he's not going to do it. Of course it's too much work. Imagine they created this situation. Apparently they spent 3 weeks sitting down with select individuals. And they don't even have a record of who those individuals are. I want you to imagine this for a second. And they changed, like, if you look at the shared report on your MDT, every single charge, all of them, and they introduced a bunch more. And we don't know why they exist. We don't know how they came. We don't know what made them decide on any of it. And by lack of recording it, we don't know whether these things make any sense, right? Yeah. And I simply said, do you have documentation? He told me the clerks do. They're like, the clerks did it. They even at one point, this fucker tells me that Archibald did it. He started it. And I'm like, no, he didn't. I actually, unlike you, have, if you told me to give him the document, I have the document. I'll go pull it up right now. And
so they're throwing people under the bus to cover their ass?
They're literally lying through their teeth. And it's so bad that I genuinely think that they believe it. Right? So I asked them, I'm like, do you have do you have any of this written down? Like the reasons for it, who was there, anything, right? Something that we can use to be like, this is why this changed. Yeah. And he's like, oh yeah, the clerks got it. And I'm like,
please.
I'm like, okay, like, can you can you get it? It's like, oh, I don't know, they're not around anymore. And I'm like, I'm a clerk. Okay, then how do I know this changed? And it goes, don't you have a chief of police? Why can't you ask him? And I'm like, huh? He's came in as I'm like, have you done what the fuck is this? Like what do you how does this make any sense? Like what you're saying
about
to me?
An avoidant. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
What the fuck?
I'm like, okay, you're telling me to go ask a potential participant that may or may not have been there. And by the way, Turner wasn't around during this. So what do you say? Like, hey, by the way, why is this $9,000 as opposed? What are you saying? And I'm like, and I tried to explain to him. It was like a father talking to his kid. You know what I mean? It's the first time he's going out on a date, right? Type shit. You know, you got to explain to him and I'm like, you are the judiciary. You are the DOJ. This is your work. You are therefore responsible for the work. And that includes the recording of it. And when prompted why, you should have an answer. Just as when you ask me, hey, and we have the most legislation written, right?
Yes, you do.
Ask me a question like, I don't know, fucking, what is the Hank Act? I just pulled it up. I randomly looked at it. It was written by Tilly Winters about 7 months ago, and its intent is to write licensing for canine handling. Who's responsible when that animal hurts somebody? It's the owner. That it allows for the importation of it. It allows for vets and all that. And I can speak to it. You know why? Because it's written. And also, and here's the thing, because I was involved. Not pretending I was involved.
That's a big difference.
Because someone who hasn't actually participated has answers like that. He wasn't involved. So he wasn't.
Yeah, they're not involved in a lot.
No.
So
and you know, 1 minute the guy's saying, what did he say? And there's just too much to like rip apart. But to give you an example, it was like, well, we heard from the criminals that this much is coming out of the Maze Bank, and we hear it's like $500,000.
Oh Jesus!
And you know, so you know, it's kind of whatever. And you know, and so we decided, like, you know, they make this much money, and then how much could the charge be? And I'm just like, what the fuck? And I'm like,
brother,
okay, well, you surely you have that written down, right? And they're like,
nope.
Once again, I don't know. The clerk,
he doesn't
and you know
know.
what the funny thing is? That's not how much is in there.
Oh my God.
But it gets worse. I was like, listen, like, you don't got to do all this kind of hocus pocus. Like, have you thought about like going and like, I don't know, like running through the records of arrest reports?
He wouldn't have thought to do that.
No, and if you did, you would know that the Maze Bank is not guaranteed. There's like, you don't know how much is taken out. So, let's say there is $500,000, I don't know if you know this, in the back of the bank, right? Not everyone's getting all the way in the back, number one.
No.
Right?
No.
So,
There's
like, what do you...
systems.
Yes, exactly. But let me go even further, right? Is that I asked him, I'm like, if you're, because he went from, I know how much is in the back because people told me, to then he rechanged his position again. And this is how you know someone's lying, right? He goes, well, we don't really know how much is in the back. And like, we're just kind of guessing based on like, someone told us. And I'm like, I'm asking myself, who the fuck is going to tell you what's in the back?
Oh God. Nobody's telling him that shit. Nobody.
No, of course not. And so,
oh my God.
So I'm thinking to myself, right? I'm like, okay, well, listen, if like, you know, and you're whatever, have you tried FOIAing it? And they're like, he goes, Hart goes, no, we're not going to do that. That's kind of weird. And I'm like, how is that? I'm like, hello?
It's a built-in system for you to use.
It's a maze. It's a maze. It's a fucking financial institute. You're telling me that if you wrote up the FOIA and sent it out, what's the worst they're going to say? Like, Mr. Maze is going to be like, go fuck off? Oh, you're coming up with fines and times. They might even give it to you. You don't know. How is that strange? Like, what the fuck?
Wait, have we factored in that he may have hit one himself?
I don't. I don't fucking know. I don't. Maybe he took the keys
Weiss
and just
done
fucking
a cargo
opened it
ship or something. I don't know.
And then at the end of it, right? At the end of it, it was just like the answer was, we don't know why these numbers are the numbers that they are. That's kind of what it was accumulating to. So I don't really know. He
doesn't know. He just doesn't know. But he thinks he doesn't.
And he said that they're willing to talk. They don't exist. We've been trying to talk to them. I fucking sent out a bajillion emails. This guy shows up. This guy shows up 3 times in the last 3 months, and he says he's involved. Fuck out of here. Like, when are we gonna have this conversation? You guys came through in 150 penal code changes. The entire city screaming. You apparently haven't heard any of this. And when we're telling you that there's an issue with it, right? That your conversation boils down to, let's go through each and every one and explain to me why it's got to change. I'm like, are you like, what is going on here? Why don't you just run for mayor? Like, genuinely.
Why not?
Yeah.
By the way, riddle me this.
Yeah.
Just quickly. Hart was there, right? The whole time I was listening, you know, to the meeting with the governor. She didn't say a word. It was Weekend at Bernie's. I didn't think she was alive. But afterwards, when we got into the interview, she goes, "Oh, the governor and the brain dead." What?
Wait, the governor's brain dead?
Like essentially saying the things that they just went over, or it was brain dead. It was this. Oh my God! It was like it was. Oh, it was like just winded down after work.
Did they understand their job? I don't understand.
No. That's. I think that's the entire thing. They don't.
Their job is not difficult. I am sorry. There are not judges being trained. The director's been vacant for 3 months.
Yep.
They denied their own people. They had the mentality that it was smart to make a majority vote. I've been pulling up documents today. Myself, Michael, and Maeve, who's a cop now, We're all like, why are you doing majority face-off moment? Like, you're literally saying you're only going to let justices be
Oh my God.
in your same mindset. Like, how does a judiciary ever come up with a vote that way? You ready for the kicker?
What? Hit me.
The person arguing it was Weiss.
Oh my God.
We have him right. Brother, I'll show you the fucking document. God. He kept fighting against it. He's like, that's how we make our decisions. And then he was lamenting about it a month ago. He's like, oh my God, we can't decide on. Bitch, you fucking made it. There would have already been a director 3 months ago, but you kept fighting that it needed to be unanimous. Like, in what world, are you like, yo, let's have a judiciary be unanimous decision? Hello. I don't know.
It's cooked. It's cooked.
You can't. Yeah. Anyways, I gotta go check this out.
Yeah, go do your thing.
Burn it down. I'm gonna fucking put a bomb on that shit.
I could have, and honestly, I chose to sit there and listen to them bitch and moan about the meeting.
That is amazing.
By the way, so that's. I just wanted to. I told you, you know whose side I'm. I wanted to let you know their thoughts and how they're conveyed.
I'm gonna ask them to come in, all right, and I'm gonna say, listen, bitch, if you got a fucking problem, say it to my fucking face, pussy.
Literally, I know. You honest to God, you should, because he was. Yeah, it was. And
all I said, you know what I said? All I was looking for is, listen, people want it to set back, and you're saying, I don't want to do this. We did 3 weeks of work. I'm like, you're putting the burden on everyone in the city by saying, we did this, live with it, right? Yeah. So I'll meet you halfway. Let me put a list of everything that we got a problem with, and then give it to you, and then you tell us where there's disagreements. And even that
he doesn't even want to do. He doesn't even want to do that. He doesn't even want to. He doesn't want to try. He doesn't want to go through the things for you. Oh my God, there's so many things going. Like, you even know what's going on, like with Moose Knuckles, the judge, and it's so bad. It's look, they don't want to train the guy. They're getting rid of him.
We had justices giving us slapping asses after that meeting. You know what I mean? They're fed up with it themselves, right?
I was confused by the whole thing. Honestly, that meeting seems like it somewhat could have been done in an email. I don't know why there wasn't repercussions for a lot of the things or the impeachments. They didn't even get a slap on the wrist from my perspective. I don't know, and you probably have different or whatever opinions.
No, I'll tell you why. Because the time in the city, in and of itself, is not an egregiousness. The egregiousness is the not doing everything else, right? But the inherent burden comes into play that we're all so busy, the people that actually work.
Yes.
That spending time to what can be days of collecting evidence of how they're not doing much. It's I'm reading. Someone else feels the same way.
Yeah.
Brother, the point of the part where they're like, oh, everything works, like no one's afraid of us picking, and then like literally they raise their hand. It's like, I thought I was losing my job. I'm afraid to do this. They fucking say that. Grayson literally got bullied out of the DOJ. That's the word I'm going to use, because that's what they did. They literally jumped at every fucking opportunity to throw him under the bus over a ruling that wasn't even that serious.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They act like children. They don't like the one. They don't like the one friend. So they leave. I know.
You know what? I know we could do this all night. It is what it is.
I know. It is. It truly is what it is.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. Just know that, like, things will be all right. Maybe. I don't know.
No.
All right. Take it easy.
All right. You take care. Bye. Hey, I am so sorry, Wayne. We had
You're all good, man. You're all good.
Oh my God. Yeah, we had a meeting with the DOJ, and the thing